మిత్రులారా, బంధువులారా, వనక్కము స్వాగతము టు South Asia Maps Intellectual Kshatriyas channel, education channel. This is your presenter Dr. J. Reddy, Joggari Tirupati Reddy. Mitrana, we are continuing our human ecology, human predicament series. This is part 136. Excuse me. The title of today's presentation is United States of America and Human Succession in the United States of America, and how several stages, what type of several stages we happened during this process of human succession after the establishment of the nation or discovery of United States, European landing there. That is, we'll be talking about the wilderness and we'll be talking about the native Indians, the American Indians, Amerindians, then the Europeans and the colonization. The Europeans, Indians are essentially Homo sapiens, that is the biological name for human beings, and their succession, European succession into Homo Colossus status. Human ecology is a combination of human biology and human sociology. That means humans on the planet Earth, their interaction with the abiotic things and biotic things. This will give you a different ecological perspective of human beings, their succession, the United States, more or less the entire planet Earth after this presentation. Mitranam, I have discussed this. This is our human ecology, human predicament, human impasse series. We are in part 136, USA, human success and several stages. The native Indians, European Homo sapiens, and European Homo colossus, the process of succession in the ecological perspective today. And similar series on human ecology I have posted before. You can look at them, and these are the various human ecology series and so on. All these presentations, Mitranam, you can find at South Asia Maps JRD education channel. When I have today is 2025 May 5th. There are 800 and so videos. I have put them in round about 75 or so playlists. You can pick and choose your choice and topic of your interest. That is South Asia Maps J Ready. And most of these content of these presentations comes from the standard book Overshoot by the William Carton's work. He's from University of Washington, and from his work I have taken and added my understanding of the global systems. United States of America, human succession, Seral Stages, and Homo sapiens and Homo colossus. Before that, broadly, you have to understand that there are the traits, characters in biology. If you are not aware of that much biology, that's not an issue. We will go over it briefly. There are the traits, mostly the genetical traits that make the people or the species to adapt to a particular environment. In humans, you have special characters called social behavior or social traits that make them adapt to differently in addition to non-human beings. So the adaptation to the surrounding environment, genetic adaptation in case of humans, behavioral adaptation, socio-political, economic adaptations. So we have a species means that they interbreed among themselves and they produce successful offspring. The wheat plant interbreed among the wheat, produce the next generation of wheats, like a cattle breed among themselves, like human beings. Let's say how the succession happens. This is the succession is a natural succession, or Here, in our perspective, here we are extrapolating that to social succession, socio-political, economic, behavioral succession. There are two types of humans, Homo sapiens and Homo colossus. This is the term coined by Dr.Catton. Homo colossus means is interbreeding with the Homo sapiens is a simple human being consumes less resources, energy, whereas its counterpart Homo colossus is a resource guzzler. So we are talking about that succession here. Let's say here a group of species Sere A, B, C after millions of years. So this doesn't happen in few years. Evolution process is a continuous. You see a different Sere, a group of organism species CDF. Again, after sometimes we have a different Sere, GHI. So this is one Sere group of organisms. This is other Sere group of organisms. This is other Sere group of species. So we have various Seral stages here. So here biotic succession is ecological succession, vegetation succession. Ecological succession means a species interbreeding organisms, their composition in ecological succession, composition of the ecological community changes over time. That is ABC to CDF to GHI, etc. Sere is a sequence of community or group of flora and fauna. Flora means plants, fauna means animals. Here we are talking about the humans in a different with different ecological loads. This resource consumption. Seral stage is simply a stage in the process of ecological succession, community succession. Homo sapiens is a binomial name, normal humans consuming basic resources, subsistence humans essentially, around about 2500 kilocalories plus little extra for his home and etc. Whereas his counterpart, Homo colossus, is a gigantic human being, a resource guzzler, and produces enormous waste disposable into the habitat environments. Important thing you have to remember is the Sere, the Seral succession, Seral stages. You have seen this is a particular Sere, this is a particular Sere, this is a particular Sere, group of organisms. So this is a particular stage, this is a particular stage, this is a particular stage. In our socio-political extrapolation in the planet Earth or United States, you say this is a particular Sere, native Indians, low energy consumers, the next Sere, European invaders, colonizers, and more or less the same, little more energy consumers. Now, modern European colonizers, their successors, Homo colossus, one Sere. In that particular aspect, we are looking the present content. So here I have shown the Homo sapiens. This is the standard icon I have been using throughout this presentation. So Homo sapiens consumes lot less energy and resources. A subsistence human. Before World War One or before 1800 AD or CE, almost entire human beings were Homo sapiens on the planet Earth. 1818 there used to be around about 1,000 million people, 1 billion people at that time. A serious industrialization process started. This is Homo colossus. Colossus means giant, big. That means the counterpart of Homo sapiens, they interbreed successfully and is a giant resource consumers. Here you will see the United States map coast to coast, Atlantic to Pacific. Somewhere you imagine here the world, Europe, Africa, Asia, Eurasia. After the European navigations and discoveries around about 1500 CE or so, Columbus, American Vespucci, and all those people they discovered the new land, then the European colonizers started coming. So this is one Seral stage. At the time, the native Indians or Amerindian people lived there with less number as subsistence human beings, mostly hunting and gathering. There was not that much agricultural niche at that time. So here that represents a type of wilderness bison. Even before the native Indian colonization or their several succession in the United States of America, modern USA. That you can say one Seral stage. Next, after that, we have shown here the Native American Indians. There are different types of people, Seminoles, Chickasaws, and Cree, and there are thousands of the American native Indians, North America, Central America, that's Latin America, South America. Just here we have taken for example only the United States of America, the native Indians. So from wilderness, just only the flora and fauna with Amerindian colonization of Europe. That happens thousands of years back. Few people lived there. They lived a subsistence level. There are also Homo sapiens lived in harmony with the nature wilderness. Then, after 1500, European colonization started, and by 1776 or so, they declared their own independence away from the parent body, that is the Europe, Britain in this area. And we are showing the Europeans here as the Homo sapiens. Their energy consumption was little more than the Native American Indians. Essentially, they were also subsistence human beings, Homo sapiens, from 1776 till, let's say, 1876 or 1800, almost if you give around about 125 years or so after industrialization started, road building, the railroad building, and also on the automobiles. Now they consume lot amount of energy every day. Every day, American on average drives around about 20, 30, 40, 50 kilometers, use a automobiles and consume a lot, and they also extrude into the habitat metabolites, ex-osmotic metabolites, extra metabolites, and the disposal process, carbon dioxide, methane, and all those things. So here I have shown the Homo Colossus icon. So United States of America, human succession of human beings. We are talking about the various Seral stages. Here I have shown the four Seral stages. Sere is a group of flora and fauna. This is a group of flora and fauna. This is a group of flora and fauna. This is a group of flora and fauna. Organisms and species, mostly wilderness with native Amerindians, and substantial wilderness with European colonizers, and now their successors, Homo colossus. United States of America, human succession, Seral stages. What are the Seral stages we discussed in this succession process today is wilderness, native Amerindians, and European colonizers, colossal. So, we discussed about that process, biotic succession or ecological succession of humans, change of their composition, a Sere from a group of community, a sequence of community. There are various stages here. Just for simplicity, I have put only 4 or 5 Seral stages. We have talked about the Homo sapiens and we talked about the Homo colossus. So we talked about the various traits and adaptation, succession process, and various humans. I have delved this in a different perspective. If you need to want to understand more, what is the difference between mutually interbreeding species, humans, Homo sapiens, normal humans, subsistence humans, with less energy resource consumption, let's say around about 2500 kilocalories per day, and his counterpart Homo colossus big, This is the ecological perspective. Gigantic humans, a resource guzzler. So prodigal means a person who wastes a lot of resources. That is the prodigal. Prodigal way of living is called because Homo Colossus are spending a lot of energy, fossil fuels, resources, and so on. So that I discussed extensively. You can look at that at particular that presentation, 5 or so. And I also previously discussed about because now United States is populated with around about 330 or so Homo Colossus. When the country was declared as independent in around about 1776, it has only 3 million people. That is 3 million Homo sapiens. Then they acquired a lot of land, Louisiana Territory, then the Texas annexation and war with Mexico and Oregon Purchase, round about 1850s or so. They spread from coast to coast, and during the Lincoln time, they had round about 35 million people. Lincoln was assassinated around about 1865. 65, if you take 100, there are 35, you can remember. So during Washington time, there was a 3 million people, Homo sapiens. A Lincoln time, around about 35 million people. Now 2025 Biden or Trump presidency time, there are around about 330 million colossals. Every day they have to hunt for around about 18 or 19 million barrels of oil just to carry on their normal lives. So that's you have to put into overall context. In this, the process what we term as United States of America human succession and several stages of the human succession from wilderness round about 500 years back or so, 2025, a land saturated by Homo colossus. That's what we discussed today about the United States. This is the ecological perspective, not socio-political economic perspective. Around about 1500, European navigators discovered this land, Columbus and so on. Europeans start colonizing them. The wilderness existed that a particular several stage, living in harmony with a subsistence Homo colossals native Amerindians, humans replaced the flora and fauna Amerindians, that is called takeover of the land by European colonizers. They take over the land at the cost of displacing the flora and fauna and disregardable native Amerindians. Then Homo sapiens Europeans colonized, spread themselves, then become Homo colossus. So that is about the broad United States of America ecological perspective of last 500 years, a sort of human succession, biotic succession of human beings. Hope this will help you to put the things in the proper perspective, Mitrona. In the next presentation, we'll look at more about the general humans and several stages, and that is the mature seral stage, and what is more mature seral stage and less mature seral stage. Thank you very much joining me today. If you have any questions or comments to make, you can post your comments or suggestions. Your presenter, Dr. J. Reddy, Jogari Tirupati Reddy, South Asia Maps.